Hello and welcome back to Now Go See It. I'm Tony, and today we're visiting the Brazil side of Iguazu Falls. In our last video, we explored the Argentina side, which is the full-day, trail-heavy side with the upper circuit, lower circuit, park train, and then the walk out to the impressive Devil's Throat. Today is different. The Brazil side is shorter, more direct, and easier to understand. Visually, this is where you get the big postcard views. Let me pause a moment to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. Now go see it. It helps us keep making travel videos like this one by telling the algorithm you thought this video was helpful. Let's start with the first major Brazil side planning issue, entry rules. If you're already staying in Foz do Iguaçu on the Brazil side, this visit is pretty straightforward. You buy your ticket online and get yourself to the Brazil side park entrance by Uber, taxi, bus, or guided tour. If you are staying on the Brazil side, I don't think a guide is essential for a basic park visit. The Brazil side is much simpler than the Argentina side once you're inside the park. There's one main trail and one main flow through the visitor experience, plus internal buses that move you between the visitor center and the falls area that are included with your park entrance fee. A guide can still add convenience, especially if you want hotel pickup, help with timing, or a bundled experience, but this is not the side where I would say you need a guide just to understand the park. If you are staying in Porto Iguaçu on the Argentina side like we were, that changes the recommendation. I would much more strongly consider booking a guided tour. Check the link in the comments or scan this QR code to see the tour we used. If your hotel is on the Argentina side, you need to cross an international border before you get to the park. That means passports, immigration, visa requirements, traffic, and timing that can be a little hard to predict. And if you are American, Canadian, Australian, or from any country that needs a Brazil visa, don't treat the Brazil border cross like a casual last-minute add-on. As of my visit, US citizens need a visa to enter Brazil, even for a short tourism visit. That includes this day trip to see the falls. The US to Brazil visa cost me $80. Check your country's rules before you go. A guide can help you navigate your way across the border and into the park. That said, using a guide is not perfect. For us, the guide made the border crossing and transportation much easier. But once we were inside the Brazil park, I did feel a little rushed. The Brazil side can get very crowded, and because the main trail is where everyone goes, there were moments where I would have liked a little more time to wait out the crowd, enjoy the viewpoints, and get better photos and video without feeling like I needed to keep moving. That's the trade-off with a group tour. You gain convenience, but you lose flexibility, and inevitably, you'll rush yourself to get back to the meeting point at the exact time the guide told you to because you don't want to be the person holding up the group. Then someone else in the group will be late anyway, and now you're standing there doing nothing, thinking about the viewpoint you left too early. Travel is beautiful, group travel is group travel. So my simple take is this. If you're staying in Foz do Iguaçu on the Brazil side, you can probably do the Brazil side independently without much stress. If you're staying in Porto Iguaçu when crossing from Argentina, a guide or arranged transfer becomes much more useful. Just know that once you're inside the park, you may wish you had more time than the group schedule allows. The official Brazil side park tickets are sold online with a scheduled day and entry time, so buy in advance if you can. Ticket prices can change, so check the official park site before you go. The park ticket includes the internal round-trip transportation from the visitor center to the waterfall trail area. That's important because private cars can't just roll up to the main viewpoints. The traditional visit starts at the visitor center, then you board one of the park's internal buses that takes you deeper into the protected area. It's roughly 7.5 miles or 12 kilometers round trip between the visitor center and the start of the main waterfall trail. This is the main event, Trilha das Cataratas, the waterfall trail. The trail is roughly 1 mile or 1.5 kilometers. It's not a long hike, it's more like a scenic route along the canyon with viewpoints that get better as you go. And this is where the Brazil side starts to make its case. On the Argentina side, you're walking through the waterfall system. You're above it, beside it, and at the edge of Devil's Throat. On the Brazil side, you're across from it. That's why the views feel bigger and easier to understand. You can see wide sections of the falls spread out in front of you. This is the side where the falls look like a giant landscape. The trail begins with broad views across the canyon. At first, you're looking at the falls from a distance, which helps you understand the scale. Iguazu stretches roughly 2,700 meters across the river system, with around 275 separate drops depending on the water level. From the Brazil side, you can see all the falls broken into channels, islands, cliffs, curtains, and spray. Now some real talk. The Brazil side can get extremely crowded. The trail is narrow in places, and because most visitors are funneled along the same main route, the crowd flow can get tight. If you want a quieter experience, go as early as your ticket and transportation allow. If you show up midday on a busy date, just accept that you may be sharing the railings with a lot of elbows, phones, and ponchos. The views keep building as you go along the trail. You start with wide panoramic scenes, then the trail brings you closer to the water and closer to the big final section, the part everyone is waiting for. the walkway that takes you toward the waterfall action near Gargancho do Diablo, or Devil's Throat. This is the wet part. You're standing out in the spray with water crashing around you, and the mist can be strong enough to soak you. The final walkway gives you one of the strongest views on the Brazil side. You're looking into the system, toward the roar, the spray, and the main river channel. The scale is easier to understand here from almost anywhere else in the park. You see water coming from multiple directions, you feel the mist, and you get that classic Brazil side feeling of being surrounded by the falls. At the end of the walkway area, there are elevators and viewpoints that help move visitors between the lower viewing area and the upper area. The main trail does include stairs and can have wet surfaces and crowd pressure. If you have mobility concerns, skip the trail and come directly here to visit the accessible viewpoint and to ride the panoramic elevator to the walkway below. After riding the elevators up to the main viewpoint, you end up at Porto Canolas. This is where you'll find food, bathrooms, souvenir shopping, and this is also where the buses take you back to the main entrance. One thing many people add to the Brazil side is Parque das Aves, the bird park, which is located close by. I'm going to make a separate video for the bird park because it deserves its own walkthrough, so check the channel for that video. For this Brazil side Falls day, just know that the bird park is an easy add-on. It's a good way to make the Brazil side feel more like a full day. There are also a few other Brazil side add-ons that people consider. You may see helicopter rides advertised near the park. The Brazil side is where those operate. They give you an aerial view of the falls and the river system, but they are expensive, short, and not essential. If seeing the falls from the air is one of your big travel wants, it's there. If not, the trail gives you plenty. There are also newer park experiences like sunrise and sunset visits, bike routes, and additional trails. These can be great for travelers with more time, but for a first-time Brazil side visit, I would focus on the main waterfall. Before we knew it, we were back on the bus to the main ticket area with the Brazil side behind us. For the full guide, check out nowgoseeit.com. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description. You'll find all the details you need to plan your own Iguazu Falls trip. And check the channel for the separate bird park video and our Argentina side falls guide. If this helps you plan your visit to the Brazil side of Iguazu Falls, give the video a like and leave a comment with which side you would rather visit first, Argentina or Brazil. Help us out by subscribing to Now Go See It. It's free, only takes one click, and helps us keep making travel videos. Now go see Iguazu Falls, Brazil.